who's doing the intro? Was it me or was it you? Actually, you know what? I got this. All right. Ladies and gents and days and thems. AEL. Week 2? We're on week 2, right? This is week 2?
It is.
Okay, cool. We're week 2. Bang, bang. Oh my God, Google, not now.
It's that's pretty awesome. Week 2 is gonna be a banger. So week 1 already we saw both of these teams 2-0 their respective opponents. So as we move forward here into this week 2, this should be a pretty good indication of probably the higher echelon of the seeds from this bracket moving forward. So it'll be interesting to see how both of these teams handle things out.
Yep.
Week one to me, it was pretty interesting last week. We got a chance to watch Conduit Phoenix and the Shattered Spire. It looked like Shattered Spire was a really solid team. So that to me makes me wonder if these two are ever going to meet each other, and when they do, how that's going to end up going. So it'll be interesting nevertheless as we do move towards the introduction of the players.
Absolutely. We're going to go across and look at this XSV Gluttony roster with Mellow Devils? Yes, Mellow Devils in the top lane. Discrepancy in the jungle. KP in mid lane. And across, and Avi routing out the bot lane in support. And got Brother Otter Timmy for the coaches.
Brother Otter and Timmy. Love it. Tilt Crashouts. Terps we got in the top lane. Chris in the jungle. KTL will not be playing mid. Is that correct, Crow?
Yes, correct. It'll be Zed in the mid lane.
Okay, so Zed, and then of course in the AD, we got We'll Show Them All. Love that. And then we got Frozen Spuds in the support role with a couple honorable mentions. Don Lino, Zed, Anthiez, Lima, Kakolin as our subs here. So as we move into the draft here, I'm ready to rock. Crow, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good now that my G word that will not be named is calmed down.
Yeah, I didn't
know what I said to activate it.
I didn't even catch it myself, so.
Okay, awesome.
So maybe nobody else did either.
Maybe, hopefully not. No, I heard it. That was hitting me. But yeah, no interruptions this time. We're getting straight into the draft here as immediate ban's going to go and take away Jungle Pinch, hardcore here. Going to go and get rid of the Viego and the Kane. So I love that.
Yeah, already targeting Chris pretty heavy there. Syndra ban, not too surprising. Kind of wonder exactly what that's going to be entailing here. Could be like something like an Orianna pick where you just want to trade. Normally you'd see that Syndra into that Ori matchup, so I don't know if there's going to be a pile on that. I could be too. I could just also be overreading this as well. They could just be targeting mids. So both make sense to me. Target the jungle from the side of blue, and from the red side we're targeting mid right now. So.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. I mean, immediate picks. It does look like a bit of a target on the junglers here. Discrepancy for Gluttony loves to play a lot more of the carry-oriented jungler style. So, making sure they have the ability to do so is one of the bigger keys. Where it's like you're looking over towards the side of Tilt Crashouts. I mean, it's more so the bruiser type junglers, so getting rid of the Viego, the Kane, pinching over the Wukong maybe, but they're actually gonna take a Mordekaiser here too. So I mean we've been seeing a bit of him up in the top lane, but
they did their homework. They did their homework though, Crow. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, Morv played both games.
Both games last time.
Both games. So they've done their homework, and obviously they put a heavy pile on this Jinx too. So Jinx, pretty stock standard when it comes to that B1. A lot of the times you'll see Jinx and Varus interchanged. But if you're picking Jinx, you got to be able to make sure that you draft around her. So you really need a nice strong front line. We'll see how they handle their B2, B3.
Very, very true. Okay. Going on to this next round here. I mean, picking Jinx this early is so risky. It is. Like you said.
It feels risky. If there's a couple champions that can really save it, like if you index into a heavy dive comp right here, Twitch is a great pick into Jinx for the record. Just to finish my thought, Tom Kench is something that does really well into a heavy dive comp, but I'd love to see that Twitch. You could even see the Lulu coming through here right now if there's a heavy prio on it.
Right. I mean, immediately both of these hyper carries locked in. You need to have that, really good, objectively just, enhancing support. But it looks like Crashout, they're going to go and lock in that Wukong. Like I said, there were a lot of, the Viego and the Kane bans thrown their way because their jungler does really prefer, these bruiser can either go into full damage or a little bit more tanky type junglers. I believe their most played have been Wukong, Kane, and Viego in that order. So getting one of those, good for Tilt Crashouts.
100%. It's also a denial pick too. If you take the Wukong, then of course Glory can't have that. So the Skarner being hovered right now. Skarner is definitely that front line that you want for that Jinx, and that's great. So you're gonna be able to get that Skarner. I think 1 or 2 nerfs since he's been super OP, but nevertheless still extremely strong, and it does exactly what this team comp needs so far. So of course the Lulu is still up if either of these teams do want to grab it with these hyper-scaling champions. Of course now is the time, so we'll see what happens with this B3. It looks like it's just gonna be a Victor here coming through if that does get locked, and that'll be a really nice stock standard like safe control mage in the mid lane.
Okay, Victor has been all the talk of the town since this little, update of his, especially. Just, I mean, so good, and like covers so much area, and team fights especially. Just he's so reliable at this stage of the game, and so XSV Gluttony, I like their team right now. I mean,
so do I. Yep, so do I.
It's very standard, very like team fight reliant, but I mean, it works.
It does. It definitely does. You've already established your team comp here. You're going to just want to scale right now. If you're on the side of XSVG, just scale. If you're able to do that, this could be fantastic here. In your phase 2, you're going to want to make sure that you have some agency in this team comp. Whether, again, one of these teams do look for that Lulu, of course, that's an option, but I think you're going to want some more CC here for your Jinx, for your Victor, and then maybe something like a Bruiser coming out from the top side there, just to add a bit more damage. We'll see, of course, but yeah, the phase 1's for both teams quite good, but of course, XSVG, I think I got to agree with you there. Their phase 1 seems a bit better.
I'm liking it. Okay, so going into the last bands, very, very top lane targeted. I mean, are we looking like, let's see, I'm like looking at the GGs and whatnot, like going back to that, it's like a lot more tanks for Terps than, some sort of like bruiser or carry type top lanes, and then it's just
well, there's so many questions right now. That's exactly it. So Mellow Devils right now too. If the Ornn isn't banned, that could be a great option for them if they want to pick that up. Ornn does really well into immobile carries, and of course, both the Twitch and the Way going to have those problems. And it looks like we are going to see that Lulu being at the very least banned here. So Ornn is going to be a denial pick. I'm convinced that's a denial pick. So the Wukong and the Ornn both getting double value from there, and yeah, both teams have definitely done their homework here, so they recognize this. Of course, now we get to see what that counter pick is going to be into that Ornn.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a big thing, right? It's like, hey, what? Like, I mean, it kind of spells like
Aatrox.
Very. Yeah, like it like I'm like, is this the Aatrox? Is this the Aatrox pick? Like, are we indexing into that? It looks like it'd be the Jax pick. Yeah, wow. Okay.
We're gonna get Mbessa. Oh, we're both wrong.
Also good though. Also good. Same brand of champion. I'm gonna be honest. But and to pair it off with the Braum, okay, that's sick. I actually do like that. If they decide to lock that in, that's still really dope.
That's great. Yeah, I like that a lot here. You're gonna have quite a bit of like engage too. You don't have a ton. Like I think Skarner's more of like he's like a better follow-up engage. Of course he can lead with that E nevertheless, but even still, I'm not sure if you have enough engage on the side of XSVG, but I'm not even sure that matters for you because the team comp that you've drafted is really well rounded. You're gonna scale. You're gonna have that side lane pressure, especially the Ambessa versus that Ornn matchup. So I like what they've done here, and of course this R5 is going to be everything on red side. It's very important. See what we get, and it's going to be a Nico.
All right, Nico support been popping up, pretty often. It's very feast or famine in my opinion. I would have loved to see any other enchanter type support pop in, just add a little bit more oomph to both the Twitch and the Wukong. I mean, there's still plenty of that we're left able to but I understand the reasoning why the Nico. It's the E route is so dope, and then Pop Blossom is just such a wonderful team fight tool. With you have Ambessa and Skarner that are going to be trying to jump onto your backline. So I mean, I get it. I'd understand some of it.
I can appreciate that mindset, because in one way that's right. In another way too, I'm just looking at this Nico and I just feel like it's like almost so useless at times too. It's like Nico does really well into a team comp that has to commit. They have to dive, and right now you have that Jinx and you have that Victor, which definitely don't have to do that. So I think the Nico already is going to get a lot of value, and then usually when I do see a Nico, it's paired with something like a Callista. And usually that Callista in that Nico lane, they can really start to smash, or you can even do something like a Draven as well, but you want like a really high impact volatile lane. Maybe with that Twitch you can get it. This is just kind of what I'm thinking. I'm not so sure if I'm right, but from what I've seen traditionally, that tends to be the role of a Nico.
It's interesting. It is very interesting, like, because like I said, it's a very feast or famine type playstyle whenever you do lock in one of these mage supports in the bot lane, especially with Nico, given the nature of her kit. But that's enough hypothesizing for now. We're gonna let it simmer on the back burner. But when we come back, we're gonna get into game number 1 between XSV Gluttony and Tilt Crashouts.
See you soon.
Every time I close my eyes, a little less of you remains. I know you're slipping further from me now. Am I too far away?
Welcome back, everybody. We're into the thick of it here. Game number 1 between XSVG versus them old tilted boys. So, of course, on the cast, I'm Beautiful Crow. And
I am Turk. I wanted to beat you that time.
Gotta be quicker than that, buddy.
I know. It was almost there. Yeah, man. This could be good. Game 1, week 2. If it's anything like last split, it's gonna fly by here. So week 2, looking forward to. Of course, both these teams 1-0 right now, both 2-0 their respective opponents. So yeah, as we move in, of course, we do see that Nico support. That was something that you and I were both kind of wondering about, and we'll see how well it ends up piloting here for this game 1.
Yep, just look like any level 1 shenanigans happening. Just drawing a little line of scrimmage between the two of them. Yeah, I mean, that gives us a lot of time to discuss important things such as Zen Market, sponsor of Aegis. Oh, segue. God, I'm
good one.
Good. It's good to be back in America. But have you ever had a problem longing for that special Japanese item but can't find it locally? Well, we have a solution for you. Zen Market, your one-stop solution for buying products directly from Japan. They'll help you buy items from over 10,000 shops in Japan, as well as place bids on auctions on your behalf. They'll even consolidate all your items safely into one box and can ship it internationally. They provide excellent customer service in 19 languages, which is why Zen Market is used and trusted by over 2 million users worldwide. Check the panel below the stream or click the link in chat to try them out now. And if you sign up with promo code Aegis, all caps by the way, you'll get 1,000 yen off your first international shipping fee. Choose Zen Market today.
Boom.
I'm so good. Oh my god.
There we are.
Container our request a raise.
We do see both junglers starting top. This is something I anticipated here. Of course, it is going to favor XSVG that much more because Ambessa is going to win in isolation in this matchup here. Eventually, if not now, it is going to be by that first item. So lots of attention being applied to the spot side, and this makes the most sense to me for sure, Crow.
For sure. And I mean, yeah, unfortunately, Terps is not really going to be a champion for like the first few levels. Tanks don't get tanky until, they get a tank item in them. So he's going to have to do his best to survive right now. A lot of survivability going the door and shield route with the pots and biscuits. Lots of dip in that resolve tree, or rather inspiration tree to, keep that sustain up and allow him to not go too down in this top lane matchup.
That's it, and we can see some of that value in this early lane phase for sure from that Nico with all these Qs. That one just barely missing. Just barely missing out of there, but nevertheless, constantly being able to poke and has basically burned that pot like herself at this point right now. So Nico's seeing some value early on. Chris was spotted earlier with that Raptors ward there, so of course they do know that the Wukong is towards the spot side here, so don't be surprised to see a contest on the Scuttle Crab here from both sides. Would not be surprised at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Both are going to stick around bot lane. Terps, they flash follows through. But Ambessa is a little slippery. The E coming out from Terps, not in range. The Q's not up in time. No mana to finish it off. Wow, that trade is not how you would expect it to go this early on. And Mellow Devils staying alive, but just barely. Like I said, both flashes burned.
Now we see a contest here. Skarner could be getting collapsed on.
A little bit of a 4v3 scenario with that roam down here, or rather, and you do see, yeah, he's gonna go ahead and just walk away, taking a few hits in the backside. It's battle cast, he's durable, he can afford a few hits.
No vision in that tri-push just means that there's no counterplay at all there for the side of XSVG. Just Gluttony's basically just gotta kind of soak that one up there, take a bit of the L there. At the end of the day, Wukong is gonna get that crab, so chances are he's just gonna path through mid as well and see if he can't secure that second one. So he does have his tempo right now on discrepancy, so that's a bit unfortunate. At this point, you already see the Wukong, but you already know the inevitable is gonna happen. So we might see some sort of a contest with Mellow Devils. He does have Prio on this top side here, but so far, no real response just yet. We'll see. Double Scuttle's very, very, very important for junglers.
Absolutely.
Like he's going to secure it.
So much tempo. Yeah, it gives you so much tempo and so much, knowledge to work with, especially with these, I don't want to say like no mobility, but like lower mobility junglers. Is going straight through the wall, spears and pins him. He's going to make Terps pay for that. No flash to get away, giving the first blood credit over to Mellow Devils. I mean, hey, that was a really great game coming out from Discrepancy.
I don't think we actually saw the flashes burn, did we?
Yeah, for both of them in top lane?
Yeah.
Yeah, when they were doing a 1v1 against each other, it was a flash.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah,
It happened in a flash. It literally happened.
I'm out to lunch. I'm out to lunch here. Okay. Well, that's a really good response there. Just good recognizing, like the timer there right now. Of course, that flash being down, Discrepancy's able to land that, save his flash in the process. So yeah, that's a really good heads-up play. That's gonna net them first blood.
Write that down for your solo queue games. It's
Pick
good
that
tech.
timer. That was a great timer there, and it's right off that wave too, stacking and a crash. So not only do they get that kill, we also deny some CS in the process.
Okay. Now just slow down a little bit of the pace here. You know, I mean, Tilted don't really want to try to like force any other issues. You know, try and scramble, make up for that little blunder they had in the top lane. But I mean, you just see Chris getting back on the bot side, has been paying a lot of attention down on his bot side, it seems, for the first 5 or so minutes of this game. And mid lane has been kind of a spell weaving stalemate as they do decide. Looks like Dragon is the name of the game.
And both these control mages, it's pretty boring, but nevertheless, that's what they're designed to do. Just wave clear over and over and over, and when you get the chance to wave clear faster than your opponent, you roll. So for now, mid, definitely not the most high priority situation right now for both laners, but of course, at the end of the day, we are going to see this cross map coming through here. Skarner's going to be able to pick up these grubs. We're going to see the Wukong netting the dragon here, and I think both teams are pretty happy with this.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, nothing's over pushing, nothing too crazy going on. Trade cross map objectives, grubs for dragon. Depends on, you know, which one you think has more value in this moment. But yeah, I mean, slowing it down, not gonna try to go for any action. A real basic game going.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bit of a gold lead at this point, but of course it's only 7 minutes, but really it's insurmountable at this point right now. No real advantage has been accrued here. Discrepancy just doesn't have the 6. I don't see the angle right now. Oh, we're gonna load the up.
Mellow Devils definitely has it, so they will jump in on Terps, who's saving the Ornn ulti for the last possible moment, gets a double up, but not really able to follow up on that. I mean, that was more of a get off me ultimate than a I can kill you ultimate, but had he done that maybe a second sooner, could have trapped him under tower for both knockups.
Yeah, for sure, and that really is the difference too in Discrepancies, whether or not he actually has that ultimate there. And in that instance, he doesn't, unfortunately. He actually might get pushed off his own jungle here too, if Chris and Zed want to. Right now, it's just more priority being established on these crabs here. That's 3 out of 4, if not 4, at this point right now here for Chris. So really ahead here in tempo. You can see a bit of that CS lead starting to accrue for jungle. Nothing too crazy by any means, but definitely good for your Wukong where you want to get that 2-item spike going.
Yeah, the Zavi's going to get caught a little bit, trying to fight for some vision. Frozen will make him pay for it as, man, they're just getting a lot more damage onto this tower. I mean, Cross has been doing such a good job of, you know, pushing in the wave and using that Jinx range to get chip onto both characters and tower alike. And I smell a little bit of a dive in the works. Is here comes BKP. That's a big old chaos score. Everybody's fallen on the side of Tilted. Man,
that's unplayable, man.
that's ridiculous. Managing only to get 2 though.
Hey, Crow, play safe bot.
Yeah, play safe. You know,
we're trying. That's, I mean, when it's executed like that, there really is no response there. And I mean, the one caveat to it, Abby got one of the kills, but that's just a really well executed play there. So kudos to Glory for that one, or Gluttony, excuse me.
Yeah,
Glory might as well be.
Might as well, right? Man, but another really good executed play, a dive, a gank, another in the pocket of XSVG. I mean, that's top lane and bot lane both, you know, being able to capitalize on the low health bars and, you know, the gank timing. So putting them up at 3. I mean, sure, they are down. Well, no, they're up a tiny bit of gold here after that play, just a tiny bit, but it's still, I want to say it's still early because, I mean, hey, we're at the 10-minute mark, but I don't feel as if XSVG can, like, run away with this just yet.
No, they're showing really good fundamentals right now, though. Not even most. All of those kills are based off stacked waves, so they're finding great chances to dive here. XBKP, though.
Uh-oh, that's a big dive. That's a pop blossom going in. And Zed gets his head. Nice return, though. I mean, that was a really nicely timed gank and roam from everybody.
It's just like Caster Curse too, eh? I mean,
yeah.
Oh
man, they got this, and
then boom. Oh, yep. Whoops, my bad there. I mean, good roam there from Frozen Spuds. Crucially, though, still see Gluttony. Abby and Edna, that's a third plate down. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of gold going their way. It's so even. It is so even. The score lines may not exactly look it, but this is such an even game still. I mean, you do want to pick up the tempo a little bit if you are on the side of TSC, because you don't want the Jinx, you don't want Cross to be getting any more fed, like, you know, or any like actual boost in their sail, so to speak, because that's when things get scary. When they have a strong Victor and the strong Jinx, I mean, Bess is going to do whatever she wants all game, but like those two hyper carries, actually despicable.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to see how much pressure they can actually apply into this lane, especially with that Nico pick, right? We were wondering how that Nico would do in the lane right now, and with those 3 plates down, you've basically been weak-sided for every neutral that's spawned so far. Skarner's playing topside, excuse me, he's playing topside permanently. So at this point, if you're able to net these plates on top of this, like it's unbelievably advantageous for your team, and that's a huge reason why the game state is the way that it is right now. Their bot lane is just not bleeding at all, and in fact, it's the opposite.
Yep, and I mean, more Void Grubs going the way of XSVG. That's just giving more pushing power to both this bot lane and mid lane here. That bot lane red tower, tier 1 wise, is looking kind of frail with how much that Avi and Cross have been getting onto it. Now they're trying to circle around here, looking for a fight. They say we want to press that go button. And yeah, everybody's coming down. Both junglers from both sides. It's an okie doke in the OK Corral. It looks like Avi's the first target. Great pull on the ultimate from Chris and a missed ultimate from Discrepancy. There will be no Skarner pull today. And they're just saying back off for now.
Yeah, and the fight happens, and it's pretty good mechanics there for both sides. Chris actually interrupts the Skarner E there with his ultimate, and then actually manages to flash just outside of the range of that Skarner R. So at the end of the day, it looked pretty nice, but nothing really ended up coming from it, other than the fact that you now don't have ultimates on both of your junglers, so definitely going to be impactful for this fight, but looks like we might see something before then.
They did lose the flash from Chris, so yeah, there's no flash on the jungler. Ultimates are down. It is now to Smite fight, and it's going to be stolen by XSVG. Discrepancy gets it, turns TPs in. He said, all right, we may lose the objective, but we're going to get some bodies for our troubles. Managing to take 2, but Mellow Devil's TP'd in, and he's got a clear shot in. And that's the real one. That's not a clone. The Frozen Spuds going back in the fryer, and they look to keep pushing on forward. They might want to have to back off here. Zed does a decent amount of damage, and Terps is trying his best to get one back. Obviously going to take a lot of damage, but should be able to run out. But man, few kills and a dragon. XSVG looking real nice.
For sure, that's a pretty good trade there for both sides, really, at the end of the day. If you're able to get those kills too on the side of TESC, that feels pretty nice too. We've got our Hoi at this point with a 100 gold bounty. Nothing really to scoff at, but nevertheless, that kill gets you ahead of the curve that much more here. And right now, you don't have that item advantage because you're going to be equalized, which is crucially important to XP BKP. So both control mages are on track to be able to scale really well into this game as we progress. And already we can see Discrepancy actually starting to build a bit of a lead here. And the reason why is mostly because of the price on the items themselves. It's going to take a lot of time for Chris to be able to get that one item spike. So XSVG is in a good spot right now in this game if they're able to continue to pressure and enforce while they have these timers on these items.
Yeah, and one thing I did want to highlight as well is just that looking up at that top lane, Mellow Devils, not necessarily a CS lead, but a tempo and item lead with, I mean, going for those boots first. And I believe, yeah, they got the feats of strength too. So like the empowered boots first, if I'm looking at those correctly. You know, I mean, that's just more. I know some pros be like, oh, it's a bait to buy those first. You don't want to get super boots first. Just hold that thought. Looks like Mellow Devils, I'm talking so highly of you, and you're falling prey to a gank. You're not going to be able to escape. You have no flash, and that's a shutdown. Going to the pockets of Chris, but on the other side and across. We'll go ahead. We'll show them all. We'll show them all the gray screen. And Switch is going to fall. TSC starting to have this game slip away from them, mostly due to the pressure of this bot side.
They really came out clutch there. Being able to absorb all that pressure earlier on, concede those neutral objectives. Of course, you did get that second dragon rather, so you did a really good job being weak sided for all these neutrals. You get that first brick, so that's a great position for now, and Abby to be able to get themselves into here. So looks like we are going to see them swing towards this mid lane here. Not too surprised with that at all. I'm really curious to see, though, the next fight here that's going to be on this Rift Herald here. With 6 Void Grubs, being able to siege is going to be super important. So mid-prow is going to become that much more of an emphasis here for both of these teams. So I feel like if TESC actually slips up in one of these instances, XSVG has a lot of agency where they could just say, screw it, we're going to run right down mid and we're going to pressure and we're going to start sieging and just watch the turrets melt.
They will melt indeed. They have their way with it. Is man, we keep popping up back to this top lane, and it's like it's a lot of turns getting bullied for a few moments, and then like you could literally see on the maps the ping. See, there they are, 2 more members of TESC emergency rushing up. Mellow, you don't have your flash still. What are you doing playing so aggressive? They want to make you pay, but he does have backup on the way as Discrepancy is in the area. Great time on the buffer on the dash in, but here comes Discrepancy. The ultimate pop from Frozen Spuds as well, but it does look like the blue team will go their separate way, but the TP was completed. Oh no, PKP, what are you doing? Super Mega Death Rocket from downtown. Looks like they can turn this fight back on their head. The health marks of TSC are super low, and they cannot even try to save Chris's life as he will fall. Oh my goodness, that was and I caught it all from just one little map rotation up. Absolutely disgusting stuff.
Yeah, that was huge from Devils. Huge to be able to buffer that knock up there. And as soon as he does, the fight feels so good, and you know it's won as soon as the Wukong there. Chris, he's going to get caught in that grab field, and it's done and dusted. And at this point right now, you get that dub, you get the skirmish ahead. You're now also pressuring mid tier 1. You've got that chunked a whole bunch. You're going to get the Rift Herald, and yeah, this game's blown wide open.
Yeah, that's very, and then once again, top side objectives for XSVG just been on point the entire time. They got all the Void Grubs, and now they also have the Rift Herald. They got the multiple kills across the board. And across is huge, 101, but still very huge on this Jinx. So providing support from all across the map with the ultimate. The tempo just feels in blue side's favor, and now with this next dragon spawning here in 20 seconds, they have a 1 Drake apiece, and it looks like they do want to be in position to fight this. Ultimates have, had their cooldowns reset. There's still a few flashes missing from some key members, but I do think both sides are going to want to fight for this next objective.
It definitely looks like it. Now, XSVG, they don't have Mellow Devils here just yet, but the TP is available, so we'll see how they want to handle this. Of course, we do see show them all on this Twitch just hovering. This is kind of the sneaky thing about this champ. You haven't accelerated yet, you're not at that 2 or that 3 item spike, but if you find these windows, you can absolutely shred. The only issue is Abby's tracking you permanently, and you can see the mid-prow here. You can't do anything about it though, right?
You can't do anything about that. Oh my god.
Like, it hurts. It hurts so much.
So that's a 1-2 tower punch. They get the mid one and top one, and now looking to get this dragon as well. Chris dodging in the backline. He wants to take down and across, and it's super low, and yes, they will do it finally. We will show them all. We will show them this ultimate rat-a-tat-tat spray away, but there's a big ol' Ambessa in your face. Mellow Devils holding off 3 members by themselves, making it 4, and on the backside will fall as well. Finally fall down. It is 7 apiece kill score line. The dragon actually reset. It got so low, and they decided to leave it off to completely reset because they were so focused at being at each other's throats.
Oh yes, of course. The victor come the spoils is going to be the dragon at the end of the day. If it's resetting there, that's a really good shape here. Discrepancy, oh my god, needs to be a bit careful though. Yeah,
playing bodyguard here.
I'd probably be leaving that one too there. And honestly, that was such a good setup there. And it really comes off the back of Chris finding that engaged to be able to get to that backline, and Frozen Spuds. They both burned their flashes at the same time, got to that backline and blew them up. And at that point, the fight was done. And Mellow Devils, he was able to not equalize by any means, but able to get 1 kill off the back of it there, which is nice. But of course, he burns his TP. And the one thing, Crow, you always got to keep in mind now, especially with these TP changes, and it's not nearly as good when you're trying to react to get to a fight. So if the fight started and you channel your TP, the duration of that channel is just way too long. So TP actually rewards you now for playing for tempo. So if you want to play for a dragon fight, you want to TP early. Or if you want to siege turrets after you've lost a dragon fight, you're getting back onto the map, you just TP top and play with those waves. That's where the TP is really beneficial. It's not as good reactionary now.
For sure, you gotta be like it's something we really have noticed. Like a lot more proactive plays with TP are just better off now. Now looking to see if they can catch Frozen Spuds out here. Is, Clone gives a little burst of speed enough just to get away. Also in the cloud jungle, that's But one thing I need to notice is Discrepancy hasn't put down the Rift Herald just yet. I don't know if he's going to drop it mid or not. If they're waiting to drop it mid after that dragon fight, but it is something that he has yet to actually activate. Not sure what XSVG want to do with that as they keep fighting in this red side jungle here. Voracious Autocon is going to be the name of this game. We'll be spawning top as Discrepancy just keeps irking the ire of the TESC members.
Oh, Chris just bombed that.
Oh, Lord Ackerman.
That's cheeky. I like it. Because able to get the Raptors and Turfs is definitely starting to feel the pain in this matchup now.
Yeah. I mean, he decided to stick with Bramble Vest and not fully invest into the Thorn Mail.
No way.
Oh man, Zed. Yeah, you're caught, bud. And that's the massive shutdown amount of gold going over the way. Discrepancy is. Looks like Cross has to run back to his team. Is yeah. You don't want to be there.
I mean, the initial look. Excuse me. Sorry. The initial look isn't bad at all from the Twitch there. I like it. Like show them all there, sees that angle. But I think as soon as that flash will talk about it. Oh, what a beautiful Skarner.
Discrepancy. Skarner Ultimate interrupting the channel from the Orin Ultimate Part 2, so nothing can be done about that. It would have been a nice follow-up to try.
But
get that done. Discrepancy is going back in. He wants to get the kill. He can do it with the W proc as well, and that's going to be another going over. That's 3 dead on the side of TSC. They tried to save the tower, but it cost them their lives, and Zed TP's back in almost just to die immediately after himself. Oh my god, that was not supposed to happen.
Nope, it wasn't. And meanwhile, this is why, right here. If you're going to win that fight and get the tier 2 top, it is lights out right now for DESC. And our job as a caster is always to hype things up, right? You're like, oh, there's a chance. And yes, there's a chance right now, but it feels like right now the temple's so heavily favored on the side of Gluttony. It would almost be ridiculous to suggest otherwise.
And it's so weird because had that mid play not happened, this still would be considered very, very even.
100%. 100%.
The game. They gave over 2 shutdowns, and then they lost another just random kill going over to one of the more fed members, and then lost the tower as well.
That just opens up so much space on the side of Gluttony now, and it gives you those chances. You can see the one blue ward there, and if Avi placed that, kudos to him, because that's a beautiful mid ward right there, and it's a bit farther up there. You can actually see it just by the tier 2 turret, and the one that's been replaced is a little more shallow, but that ward is by far the best ward in the game. It tracks damn near everybody at this stage right now, so being able to get that vision down by taking those turrets is exactly what helps you snowball that much more here. And yeah, XSVG have done a pretty damn good job of controlling this game, almost from what feels like the beginning, but yeah, they've definitely blown it open within the last minute and a half here.
All right, Tilt, Crashouts, y'all better live up to this name you decided to give yourselves. I need to see some crashing out right now. Full Tilt, play like animals to get your get back. 44 seconds of this next dragon. Last fight went really, really well for them, but that was several minutes ago and several items ago, as there are more completed items for this Gluttony team to do more work with. And I mean, I need this. Look, We'll Show Them All has not really had the best showing on this Twitch this game. I mean, it took the second dragon fight for them to even get on the board with the mostly assist at that. So now it's just really who gets their marksman to be the most useful in these team fights, because both of these are really good team fighting marksmen.
Yeah, and you also kind of got to look at like how TESC wants to play this. Like they want to dive into that back line and get that kill on that Jinx, but it's so hard. It's so hard with the front line that's been drafted, and especially that Braum. Look at that.
Yeah. Okay, Avi gonna go ahead and pop that ulti as Chris has been singled out by Discrepancy. Immediately burns his flash here. Discrepancy holding off the jungler. Now the rest of the fight is on. We'll Show Them All is in a very interesting position. Precarious indeed is a 3-man knock-up from Terps. Could potentially throw this back in the Crashouts when they're in the Chaos Storm. That is not where we want to be. Pop Blossom goes huge, but there's still not enough damage. Take anybody. He sacrifices himself to take 1 down, take 2 down. It's a 3-for-3 across the board. Only 2 members remaining. Who's going to be able to eke it out? Mellow Devil's not enough health to finish the fight as Terps wants to get it. The way W comes down. Honeyfruit gonna recover a bit more health. This could give him the ability to need the dash in for the field, but no, he's on the run. Tries to get away. 3-for-3, 3 hit them at all. No, it's a 3-for-4. Wait, can they not get him? Zed has no mana. What's going on? They're still on the chase.
Oh my god, Mello, what are you doing? What are you doing to him? What? No. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
I was buying so much time. So much time was bought because of that chase.
Yeah, honestly, that's exactly it right now. Gluttony is able just to get back out on this map here, and sure they don't have Mello, but Mello has TP, so when he's up, he can get there too. And I mean, that was pretty well done. I gotta hand it to him.
No, what? Oh, why are you up that far? Oh, okay, the TV will be channeled immediately by Terps, I believe, to get back into this fight. Looks like they want to do this dragon dance again. Yeah, they're ahead by one member, but y'all burned a lot in that last fight that I don't think you'll be able to make a repeat of this time over.
And you have to go right now because your timer's now. It's 3 seconds on this Mbessa if you want to make this play, but they're just not in the position. And crucially, we'll have to pay attention. We'll show them all now on this Twitch because we were just saying how he basically seemed like almost meaningless.
It was so perfect on his end of 3. Man, Scorpion King grab. The fight is split immediately. XSV said you took too long and gave you a chance, and now you have to pay the price.
No way.
Absolutely slaughtering a 2 for 4. No, give him the whole thing. That's going to be a bloody ace and a dragon for their troubles on top of that. Oh my gosh. Cross the flash forward just to get the credit to Avi at the end of the day. But man.
Discrepancy. What a beast. What a beast. That was crazy. That abduct was that was game changing right there. That's game changing.
Yeah, that was the game-winning play if I had to see one. Because what do you mean? Like they get tilted. I'm about to crash out on the mic. I'm not gonna front because what do you mean?
Like Gluttony, they definitely didn't throw the state of the game by any means, but there was a couple fights there that Crashouts were just able to win, and a couple times where we'll show them all on the Twitch, like absolutely popped off here. So being able to get that play there really, like it kind of brings you back to your tempo ways, because before you were starting to lose it here, and I'm not sure how this is going to go for them, but of course both teams are going to posture on this Atacon now. So
I don't think they're going to try and contest it. I mean. They
gotta be able to walk through that choke right now. That's the problem, and they're just so split up. I don't think they can. Doesn't look like they can.
They literally can't. Yeah, they're not gonna go for it. They're gonna watch it fall. I mean, Chris is on the bottom side of it, looking to maybe, just look for some information. That's just, man, just straight muscling through off of a very, very odd situation from Gluttony that, Crashouts did not necessarily have to be in, and now it is up to them to try and, recover the ball and get back in this game, because they are 5k down. It's not as huge of a gold lead as you would look at it on paper, but then you look at the items across the board. Hey bro, this Jinx is that 4 items, 3 items now?
Yeah, 3 items.
Insane.
Plus your feet.
Plus the super boots.
Yeah. That's tricky for you. That's tricky. I think you can start to see that, like TESC, I think they have an idea now about how this team comp needs to function, and they need to get that Twitch behind. That Twitch needs to find a flank angle, be able to try to find some sort of weird shenanigan fight that's happening where everything's just happening all at once, and if you're able to get behind them, you can shred them. But I think Chris needs to be the one towards that front line. I don't think you can have 2 flankers there, and of course nobody was in the position to be able to contest that there. So I think that's an important thing to highlight, right? We really are looking at this Twitch now to see what you're able to do, and yeah, unfortunately you don't have your 3-item spike, but you still have your 2.5. You're strong, you can shred. You just need to find the right timer, and it's all about Avi tracking him.
I mean, it definitely the onus. I mean, Chris for the Crashouts has been such a key in getting these fights started, and also a lot of the times finishing them. And you're looking at him to be one of the big keys right now, syncing up with Terps with that Ornn ultimate that can do so much damage, but also Avi could just block all of that.
Exactly. That's the issue that you're running into. That's right. The Braum pick has such high value in this game. It functions so well with your team comp to begin with, because you want to have that front line in that space for the Jinx and for that Victor. But yeah, being able to counteract both the Twitch and the Ornn absolutely makes it 100% worth it.
Yep, as this Baron's about at half HP now. TPs have been called, attention has been called, and Mellow Devils is saying, hey, get away from my Baron pit. No chance for a steal as he's 1v4 4 against the majority of this team, and because of the Otacon buff, he can afford to do so. It's going to be a little quick little recall, not necessarily a death, and they will get him and get out, withdrawing with the Baron in tow. XSVG make it look so easy, so calculated.
They're very decisive. Like when they have their eyes on the prize, they just go for it. They don't ask questions, they just full commit. They just burn that, and it's a really good decision there too from Mellow Devils, and his whole job there is to prevent any sort of a flip. When you're in the state of like game like this, when you're about 5k ahead, you don't want to give any opportunity for the enemy jungler to be able to take that. So he focuses on zoning them out as much as he can. Discrepancy actually goes over the wall to prevent that, and then funny enough, burns his flash to get back into the Baron's pit. But that's worth it. That's 100% worth it. Definitely not knocking him. Like that's the right idea there, and that's why they're able to secure that Baron here. And we'll see how well they're able to play off of it now.
Yeah, and surprisingly, like it's still only a 5k gold lead. This since about like what 10 minutes or so, but it's enough of a lead that you can say like, oh yeah, Gluttony is firmly in this lead in this game number 1.
Plus, like, look at their comp too, right? Like, not only are they in the lead, like they have a Jinx and they have a Victor in a front line, in a Bruiser. Like they're ahead, and it's so hard to get back. And it's almost like it's a range disadvantage on the side of TESC that you really start to see as they begin to siege. Yeah, but that's 6 grubs too. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, 6 grubs plus Baron plus fed Jinx.
You're dead.
Plus fed Victor PK. He says, let's push the finishing button on this. As Chris Diamond in the back line tried to make something work. Pop Blossom is delayed because of the Braum ultimate Omni. That was beautiful. And that should be the final nail in the coffin that spells victory for XSVG as they're pushing onto the Nexus. Multiple grubs, still have the wave, still baroned up, still super powered. No men have fallen on the side of this gluttonous group. And they are going to go ahead and end game 1 in style, putting them tilted Crashouts on tilt point.
That is a game 1 for sure. Like, I don't know. I don't really know how you adapt. Like, first and foremost, going into game 2, I think we need to fix the drafts. I think we got to figure a couple things out, because you and I both talked about it, and you're not always right as a caster, but you can identify like win cons, and there was no doubt that Gluttony had drafted a really good team comp. But the fact that they were able to play on the map as well as what they did and find those angles, even the first 3 kills are beautiful, because again, they were diving off stacked waves. So even when they're getting the kill, they're also denying all that XP and the CS on top of it. So it's a double whammy. They consistently found angles like that over and over again. So kudos to them for that game 1. It's very impressive.
It was very impressive, and like I said, it did feel very much off the back of how heavy the bot lane was playing. Like Inacross and Avi were just absolutely destroying.
Like, they were rocks and they were getting weak sided.
Oh, right. And you're just like, okay, all right. And then we cannot not talk about discrepancy, like all over the map. I mean, yes, a lot of the early levels were topside focused, but that was good on him.
That was great. Yeah, I think throughout that whole game 1, he did exactly what he needed to do, and we talked about it too. That one, what the 3-man abduct there was just like absurd, right? Because you got to think about the timing in that game too, right? You basically just lost 2 fights back to back.
Yep.
More or less. That's basically what just happened, because if you're not decisively winning in team fights at that point when you're 5k ahead, then you're losing. So nevertheless, regardless, any even trades are bad. So to be able to pull that off is great. They secured Atacon off that. They were able to get Baron later on and then end the game. So great for them.
Great for them indeed. With that being said, though, we're going to pop into a quick break, refill your drinks, get your snacks, come right back for game 2 between XSV Gluttony and Tilt Crashouts.
日本国内発送のみ？あ、それなら全マーケットね。
すごい迷宮だ。あの商品はどこに？あそこだ。でもどうすれば。わかった。よっと。はっ。はっ。よし。
Let's go. Welcome back. Game number 1, XSV Gluttony kind of was smurfing on some fools in the later half of that game. Till Crashouts, they decide, hey, we red side again. We making it go. Run it one more time. They think it was maybe the call. That was the issue. And they're going to ban away the Skarner. First thing they can. Smart.
Yeah, you wonder how both teams like adapt right now. Of course, if you're going to stick on that red side, kind of makes you wonder what their plan's going to be here, because you and I were talking like behind the scenes there, the R5 Nico, like we tried to like it, but we didn't like it.
Yeah.
Frankly, it sucked in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, try to rationalize it and justify it, but I'm like, oh.
It sounds so mean. Honestly, it's not. It's just it didn't seem like the right pick for the R5. There in on red side, of course, you have those counter picks on that R3 and that R5. So you really want to make those count. It just seemed like it didn't come together for them in game 1. Now, of course, it doesn't change anything for the fact of game 2 here. So as we do look into these, we see that Skarner ban. You and I both highlighted. Both of those bans seem to be the same on the side of XSVG, and we do see the Zac as well.
Okay, yeah, Zac. Yeah, they're not letting you get that.
No.
I definitely peeped that in the
Okay.
GGs. It's like, yeah, he's you're not getting that ever. I mean, great target bans, I would say, from both of these two squads. So looking more through it as, yeah, the Wukong. I mean, Chris did a lot of work for Tilt Crashouts. Chris did a lot of work on that Wukong.
I think it's a pretty smart ban. And now it really just shows the emphasis how much XSVG really want to stifle Chris. That's like 3 bans right out of the gate here. So B1, what is it? Makes me kind of wonder. And I shouldn't have wondered too much, because it still looks like it's going to be the tried and true Jinx. I mean, game 1 it worked really well. Like, you couldn't shut down the Jinx at all. So once again, this makes me wonder if the Lulu's going to be on deck here. Was not much of a priority, but I really like to see this R1, R2 here from TES. This looks good to me. I like it.
I like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way Varus actually really nice. I mean, solidifies your backline, solidifies what type of game plan you want to go for. Now let's mold the composition around your carries. I mean, but yeah, like I said, XSV Gluttony just said second verse same as the first. Don't really want to do anything too different. The Victor is available, and it looks like they're going to go for the Orianna pick. I do know some other players do like Orianna in Tohei. Just like Orianna in general is a very safe pick who still gets a lot of work done, which I agree. I think Orianna is just a very good pick. That, you know, very safe middle ground.
Yeah. This is what I was wondering right here to myself. Because on top of what you said, Orianna's really good, especially if you can draft around her. That's usually why you'll pick her earlier on, because you can get that priority. She's really safe in the mid lane. By level 9, she's very strong. So if you compare something like a Jarvan with that Orianna, it makes things really good. But that is a really fast R3 pick. So Poppy, 3-way flex, support, jungle, top. My guess, though, is probably jungle.
Okay. I would say jungle Jarvan. Or jungle Poppy, rather. Well, I mean, they are banning other top laners, so like.
Right, these are the mind games. Yeah. These are the mind games.
We've seen the Poppy triple flex before this season. But top jungle and support still on the table for this Poppy, so we can't really be too sure. All I know is that it's a very good pick, counter pick for the Jarvan. You jump in on a Poppy, you're probably getting W, steadfast presence there, also the ultimate there, also the tackle. Like a lot of good denial, because you do need a bodyguard for this Varus and for this way.
Yeah, you definitely do here. And that Poppy's going to slot in really well first side Jarvan. We'll just see what happens with XSVG, because that Jinx and that Orianna aren't really that impacted by that Poppy right now. So the Poppy has value in isolation to the Jarvan, but excluding that right now, not a lot of real value here. And definitely still a good champion by no means to take anything away from the Poppy, but XSVG, if they can draft properly around this, I think they can really expose that.
All these top lane bans making me think, who are they going to go through next? Dwindling down into the pool. No Ambessa, no Cassante, no Jarvan. I mean, no Renekton, no Ornn. Wow, what? That dwindles down the pool a lot. Shin is on the table, guys. I repeat, Shin is in fact on the table.
I don't know right now. I don't know. You have options. At the end of the day, you're going to have to break this Poppy flex one way or another. Yeah. So whether you end up sending a support, top, or jungle, one of those options will be taken away here.
I am saying, I'm saying that mostly because, I mean, Terps does have a long history of playing both the Shin and the Set.
Okay.
Like, okay, the Lilia. So this is a little bit more information on the whereabouts of the Poppy.
That's right. It's exactly. See, you and I both thought it was going to be jungle.
Right.
It's not. Instead, they're going to index into a Lilia, that full clear style where you can scale things up. So that to me makes sense. Are you able to get through the early game right now? Well, that's something that I'm wondering about. But of course, XSVG doesn't have that much pressure other than the Jarvan right now. And seeing a couple hovers here, Maokai and Braum. Maokai not too bad here by any means. Not one bit.
Yeah, they could run it back with the Jinx Braum, but it does look like the Maokai is going to be the final pick. Okay, adds a bit more initiation power. That Twisted Advance is really good, as well as the ultimate, the vines coming towards you.
Support your top.
All right, we have to play it again. Damn. Okay.
I think it's support. My guess is support. I think it does quite well into the Poppy, but I don't know. The Poppy's still flex, so these are the fun things that we get to do, and the players get to stress about. This is how you go gray at 25.
You know, I already got a few in my beard myself.
Oh yeah, I do too, but I'm a bit older than 25, so.
Oh, same. And the Rumble finalization for Gluttony over here, different look than the Mbessa, completely different look, if you will. So gonna see how.
I like that though. I really like that. That Rumble being able to layer that on top of the Maokai and the Jarvan is absolutely huge. So
yeah, your backline's gonna die.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And that's Varus way too. They're gonna have such a hard time in this game. It feels like right now that Poppy is on bodyguard duty like times 10 right now.
Final
Set. It is gonna be set. Good call.
Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, I was like, is it gonna be the Set or the Shin? You know, I mean, Terps has history with both of those champions. So for him to go index into the Set, I mean, this does give him a little bit more fighting power, I guess, than the Ornn comparatively. He's gonna need to take it to Bello at the top. I believe.
I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
Man, I mean, it's just, but this, for both compositions, we talked about how last game, it's all about, you know, scaling up, hyperscaling for XVS Gluttony. This composition can come online rather fast. I mean, yeah, they have decent scaling too, but it'll be scary. And once again, the onus is on Tilt Crashouts to not fall behind in these first 5-6 minutes, or else, yeah, that's /FF, so.
Yeah, like both team comps kind of ring similar to game 1 for me, honestly. Like game 2, when I'm looking like XSVG, even once again they stuck to what worked for them in game 1 here. You can interchange that Maokai for a lot of other tanks. Now, mind you, he is going to be support, so that's going to affect things a little bit here. But like when you have that level 6, XSVG starts to come online, and then that level 9 mark when that Orianna's strong, that's another spike for you. And then of course, as the game progresses, once again that Jinx and Ori and that Rumble ult too. Keep in mind that Rumble ult's going to be massive for them. So if they're able to layer some nice CC, Maokai, Jarvan, keep those two in mind. Then yeah, that XSVG comp could really pop off. But TESC, like to me, seems a bit of like mismatch. I don't know if I necessarily want to say that too much, but like the Poppy pick to me seems, I kind of like it, I kind of don't, but I know what these players are capable of. I really like to see their adaptations for that R1 and R2. Like the Hui to me was not the issue at all. So Hui makes total sense. Pick that 100%. And I really like the Varus pick this time too, because it gives you that flexibility. He can also just go poke here too, which is really nice. That lethality Varus can keep you out of a lot of the trouble of that Jarvan, which is something you do need to watch out for. So lots of flexibility here in this TESC team comp. And Lilia, that's like really a tried and true, like let me carry style jungle, which I think will work best for them.
Well, I mean,
yeah, I know.
I mean, it's we're getting to that point, right? Like, it's very much, can the bot lane for Tilt Crashout survive early on and not fall behind like they did in game number 1? We're gonna have to see. But go get your drinks and your snacks. Take a little bathroom break. When we come back, it's game number 2 between XVS Gluttony and Tilt Crashouts. See you then.
See you then.
All right, everybody, here we are. Welcome back. Game number 2 between XSV Gluttony and the Tilt Crashouts. Once again, I'm Beautiful Crow, and I got Turk with me. And we're going to run this thing down. Let's see if it's a 2-0 or we get into game number 3.
That is the question right now. And just like we saw in Game 1, Game 2 seems to be the exact same here. Interestingly, Frozen Spuds has elected to take that Hail of Blades. I like it. Obviously, it makes you that much more squishy, but those impacts, if you're able to land that E into that wall, that heroic dash, that's where things really start to come online for that Halo Blades pop. You just see upfront amount of damage is honestly absurd. So something to take note of there, of course. But yeah, once again, we do see this 5-point here, and both junglers are starting towards that top, pathing down bot.
Yeah, nothing too spicy for these level 1s on the other side, once again. Remember to use code Aegis. There's in market.
You're sneaky with those. Gotta do it. I mean, now actually could be a good time to talk kind of just about these jungle matchups and what's really going to be in the best interest of both teams here. Discrepancy on this, Jarvan wants to make things happen early. Within his first 2 clears, so about 5 minutes and 30 seconds, 6 minutes around that time, he wants to have at least found 1 kill. He wants to be playing for neutral and trying to excel the game as much as he can on his end. And Chris just wants to power farm as much as possible here. And of course, you can see that with him starting Raptors. If he passed towards that Krugs, he could really show that that's exactly what he's looking to do. Yeah, and it makes total sense here. He's just going to head towards his Krugs. He's going to be able to cycle his camps that much quicker at this point, and also he's going to have that that farming advantage. Just how quickly like Lilia can actually clear those camps is going to make a big difference here. So Chris wants to be able to scale as much as he can. First 2 rotations of that jungle, if nothing's happened, he's winning.
For sure. I mean, yes, Jarvan is a very good level 3 ganker, but like Lilia, with that farm in her, you know, once you hit that like 3-4 mark, she's got a decent clear, like we talked about. She's, you know, popping around the map, just speedy as all hell already. And I mean, with Terps on this set, who's very, very comfortable on, by the way, very, very comfortable on this champion, could definitely do some damage. Just gets him with the corner of the E. See, like that is one of those things, like
that's cheeky.
You know the range, like, because the way he popped it that fast, you are literally on the corner edge of that radius.
Yeah, that one caught me off guard, I'll be honest. That was a cheeky one for sure there. And early on, you can expect this matchup to go exactly like this with that Rumble range advantage. Of course, Terps, he's really going to have those timers around that level 5, that level 6. At this point right now, contesting in this wave is going to be pretty hard for you, but when you do have that 6 is really where you have those windows to find those solo kills.
For sure. Okay. It's still been very quiet here these first 3 minutes. Terps, he pops that cube, runs towards you immediately. Yeah, Mellow Devils cannot hang this early on. I mean, yeah, I took comment, you know, that's a little additional burst damage as is, but Conqueror set this early on, still very scary.
All about spacing topside. Mellow Devils never wants to give that window for Terps to gap close, because if he does, that all in is so scary, and you won't be dying right now because of the HP that you're at, but you take 2 or 3 of those trades and you've definitely lost your lane.
Now I want to pop in, yeah, looking at this bot lane here, we did make a big point of contention to say that we'll show them all didn't have the best last game on the Twitch, and he needs to definitely recover that performance here on this Varus. And I mean, judging by the fact that, you know, he went Comet, this very much makes me think that it will be that Poke Varus, that it won't
definitely
you know, the on hit. Flash EW.
Oh, that's huge. That is huge to find that timer. Flash for flash. Oh, another flash.
Oh, amazing. Oh, and the body slam pushing towards the tower. Not quite enough to clip the edge for a stun, but it's still got him very low. Plus the ignite. He wants the W set fetch presence. Shield auto flash in.
Oh,
Q down, but can he get out alive? We'll show the ball is very low and has no mana or heal to help out. But Frozen Spuds is going to take that kill and get out as well.
Yeah, Avi just maybe a little overzealous there. I mean, you burn the flash on the Varus and it looks good, but we have the cleanse. And the cleanses pop right then and there, and that almost nullified that. And at that point, the counter engage there. Frozen Spuds just does a really good job of actually just knocking Avi into the turret there. Takes 1, if not 2 shots, and that's enough for him to be able to get that kill.
Yep, enough indeed. Okay. this is a good start for them tilted Crashouts. Not so much tilt, a lot more crash out. They're playing pretty spicy. And I said is really key in these first 6 or 7 minutes for them to not fall behind the power of this Gluttony team, this XSVG team, and they're doing just that. But it looks to be an early dragon looking to be on the menu for Gluttony.
That's right, and Discrepancy hasn't been able to find anything here for himself. If he's able to get this neutral, that's great here. So the first 2 clears for him. No ganks have come through, no successful ganks anyways, but a neutral objective is going to be secured. But DESC, we were talking about it, you don't want to be dying pre-6, but if you're getting 2 kills yourself, that's huge. Absolutely massive. Terps.
No.
Again, just taking more damage here. It really is just off these waves here. As each top laner just pushes these waves and tries to build them up to be as big as they can, they look for the best trades, and if they find those timers, Mellow Devils can get chunked out, or Terps can just get whittled away slowly, bit by bit.
Bit by bit, and it's so funny because, like, if you don't know how the set gameplay works, you're just like, why is he running at him? He's at half health. Why is he doing this? I mean, the grit is just so powerful in this situation. But overheat on Mellow Devils, those melee attacks do get pretty beefy, pretty spicy as well.
Yeah, overheated, probably not at the best time there. I'm sure he wanted to hold that for that enhanced flame spitter there, of course. But wait, this flame spitter, the E? The flamethrower one is what I'm talking about. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not very good with ability.
Because W scrap shield, right?
I don't know. Is it? That's cool. I like it. I like scrap shield. I hope it is. No, that's a good one. But yeah, you can see it. Like Mellow Devils in Turfs, even though there's not a lot of attention being applied topside to both these guys, like they're looking to duke it out here as much as they can. And R5 set, to me, I was a little curious to see how it go, but so far so good.
Yep, so far so good. Flame Spitter's cute. Electro Harpoon, that's what I'm forgetting.
Oh, like, yeah, that's what
I was like, what is his E?
The harpoon. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course.
I was like, duh, of course, yes. But yeah, I mean, this is just so much damage, and oh my goodness. Terps is going to keep bullying him like this early on. Until, you know, like Discrepancy, who hasn't really been as active as a ganker this time around compared to game number 1, right? I mean, we highlighted his gameplay in game number 1 by the fact that this Gardener was able to show up in all these lanes very often and provide really good ganks. This is not necessarily the case here.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not at all. Now, you're going to cross map for neutrals, you're going to trade a dragon for the grubs, but you're right. Like, so far, we have not seen the impact that we were hoping to see from this Jarvan here. And of course the game's still young, but this is really, it kind of seems like this is your timer on this Jarvan. Now the one caveat to it is you have drafted a lot of scaling in all of your lanes, but nevertheless, right, when you do pick that Jarvan, you want to get as much impact as you can out of it early, because after 2 items you just won't scale anymore. But of course the one other thing you can add to that is that the Jarvan really just needs to R this game. That's his whole job. Just burn your Cataclysm, lock down the Hui, lock down the Varus. Hopefully you timed your flashes properly, and
Oh man, here comes Jarvan. Like, what else we talk about him? He pops in. What? Is he listening in on us? I know they have the stream open, but like, is he listening to us? Oh, a little bit of a whiff. Somehow Frozen Spud survives all of that. Double whiff of the ultimate and W combo from in a cross here, but yeah, I mean, that's what we needed to see Jarvan do. Just jump in, EQ, ult, boom, success.
And on a flash timer. So, couldn't have done it any better. It's like we predicted the future.
That's crazy. And does anybody remember? I always ask this because, like, I don't think a lot of people remember. There was this one PBE patch, like several moons ago, several seasons ago, where they actually were testing mini reworks on champions, and one of the updated kits was for Jarvan 4, and basically they made it to where whenever he uses ult Cataclysm, it would also drop a Damascene standard, his E, in the middle of the pit.
Okay.
When he Cataclysm, so you can have 2.
That's kind of neat. I feel like Jarvan's already OP enough, to be honest with you. But like,
and it's like, I feel like he, like that. Yeah, at that point he definitely would have needed it, but if they kept it in, that would have been insane. Because like, could you imagine EQ-R? There's already another E in there, so you can just Q back out. Like, oh my god.
Especially since your Q cooldown's so low that you can actually Q twice to a flag. later on in the stages of the game. So yeah, you'd have a lot of outplay capability. Just let's leave Jarvan alone, because that's actually a really good idea, but it's too good. We can't do it.
It'd be too good. I mean, I honestly, as someone who plays a lot of Jarvan as one of his main junglers, I would be for it. But at the same time, I understand why it could be a problem.
Biasm. Oh.
Uh-oh, another COD. There's the Maokai ultimate coming out, and a twisted advance to lock down Chris. Not allow this Lily to get anything done. Does manage to flash out. Will pop the lullaby, but as an escape tool, not necessarily as a fight tool. Now we'll show them all. Looks to have burned his ultimate, so there is no chain of corruption here. Has flash available, but so does in and cross. Looking to just walk it down. There's 3 procs in the queue, and the flashes the comet. Talk about holding on to the skin of your teeth the last moment. Holy cow.
Just dodging asteroids.
Oh my god.
Well, honestly, I thought he was gonna die from, like, that was really well played from Wheel Show the ball there. The timing on that Q, dude, that's an instant, like, that's an instant cast Q, so there is no time to react to it, but Anna wisely so flashes that comet, keeps himself alive, so that's pretty important there.
Yeah.
Of course, the dragon is gonna be secured for the side of TESC on the back of this here, so that's going to neutralize any sort of dragon stacking for the time being, as once again we just see both jungles here just cross mapping. So originally what we saw was the Void Grubs going to the side of TESC. Now we're going to see the dragon in this instance.
Man, that was calculated to the 9th degree, being able to survive that. Okay, but he didn't, like I said, had to burn both the cleanse and the flash in that fight, whereas we'll show them all only had to burn the flash. So they still do have that cleanse available for later on. But cross, keeping this as even as it can. As oh no, Turb says we're fighting now. Gets behind them, repositions, doesn't do the flash W, just opts to do the W in the flash after to get out of the range of the ultimate. Ultimate for ultimate, flash for flash in the top lane, about as even as it gets.
Pretty much. Both top laners have that TP too, so when they need to, they can reset. The only real difference here is, of course, going to be the conditions. Mellow Devils is extremely low here, and Turps, while he doesn't have the flash, he can threaten his zone here, so we'll see exactly what Discrepancy and Chris want to do, because his top lane has become very volatile.
For sure, and I mean, now it's like, yeah, as a jungler, as you look towards the lanes that are, you know, pushing forward the most. And once again, it is this bot lane, and Chain of Corruption comes out. Oh no, he's ready to step forward. He has cleanse, he's holding on to it because he wants to try to get the 1v1, but Avi is there too. Oh man, we'll show them all. We were just praising you so much on how well you were doing, but now in the top lane, it looks to be an attempted dive, but there's the TP coming in, there's the ultimate layered down, a big W comes out for Turk, but he's stuck in the Cataclysm and cannot get out. In the end, it will be a 3-for-1 and shutdown going over to BKP. XSVG strike back hard.
Yeah, BKP, the X factor there with that TP, and he's going to burn it there and net himself a kill, and that's 1 kill going over to Mellow Devils on the Rumble, and 1 kill on that Orianna to Avi, though.
Yep. Yeah, just fishing. Yeah, just fished for something, but man, it took a while for Discrepancy to really come online, but after these past few moments, you know, he's here. Like we were looking for that Jarvan to just run around and just simply be an ult bot, and he has done just that twice over and gotten his team 2 kills apiece for each time.
It makes it a lot easier now that his team started to come online as well. So the Jarvan's starting to slot in much better to this team comp at this point, because as long as your carries are getting ahead, your main job is to be able to facilitate them. So you exactly have what you want right now. We see once again here another fish.
Back again, yeah. Steadfast Presence going to do his job. Make sure he doesn't get on to the flashless Varus.
See that attention being applied though. They're definitely timing these flashes.
Yeah,
they're definitely timing them, and they're very aware of it, so they're recognizing these windows here. But yeah, Frozen Spuds on that Poppy is going to make things difficult until that Cataclysm is there.
Yeah, I love this. So looking to get on to Nox here, does not have the flash. Avi doing a great job being bodyguard, slowing him as much as he can. Oh no, you little sleepy, eepy little girl, but wakes up just in time to get away from that, and the Chain of Corruption. There's no finishing blow, but it will fall into Avi. TP Mellow Devils, huge, perfectly placed equalizer. The body slam misses the wall once again, so no stun. We'll show them all. Misses the hail of arrows. Oh my god, he's gonna get killed 2 for 1 at the end of it. Mellow Devils, that was such a great TP, but the game plan is not over yet. It's Discrepancy gets in another great Cataclysm, spelling doom for the tilted Crashouts, but Zed actually survives, gets a shutdown onto Inonox.
Oh, so
He's running for the hills here. End of the day, it looks to be a 2 for 3. Delayed 2 for 3. Oh my goodness, the Crashouts managing to get something back for it. But, oh my god, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? He's in the jungles. Oh my
So
god,
smart.
Get the kill. Goes for the ultimate as well. W doesn't quite kill. Okay, but we'll get it with the Tiamat. Oh my god, that's massive indeed. Huge shutdown, but can he get out? Can he escape?
Yeah, I gotta hand it to Terps. This set is really starting to impress me there. He even had the patience to hold his E, and I don't know the set E name either, so... What's that one? Do you know that one?
It's the, oh god, all of his are like... wrestling names?
We're bad. We should know.
I always get it confused with, oh my god, his...
Is it I always think Haymaker. That's what I always think. That's his W.
Right.
That's the only one that I know is set. As we have plenty of time to talk about it, I guess now.
I know this because like I play a lot of set, and I'm just
the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because I think he just has such good patience with that E, and he actually held it there to try to interrupt Jarvan's EQ there.
Face crusher.
It's gotta be. I think it's face. It's gotta be face breaker because that one.
Yeah, let's go.
It's gotta be face breaker.
Yeah, so our wonderful production is showing us.
He's playing he's playing really well. He's playing really well on this set here, and we really needed to see that because in game 1 on red side, right, you get that R5 Nico, and you and I both talked about it. It just was not the play. But game 2 here, they elect just to stay on red side. Said nope, we can fix all of our problems, and it looks like they've done it.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, the Poppy's gonna have a lot of agency once we get to this mid game. You know, once they actually have an item behind them. It's been a little bit difficult because Frozen Spuds hasn't necessarily been in the same place where We'll Show Them All is often, as you know, they do like to try to get around by themselves. But yeah, like once we get to the more team fight oriented phase, because both these comps can do a lot of team fighting. I mean, it's just a matter of like how they started off is really a big question. But I also have to give props out to Zed on this way because getting 2 key shutdowns, getting a lot of gold influx into his pockets has been really, really nice.
Yeah, he's done a really good job here. Game 1, he piloted the champion great. In game 2, we expected the same thing here, and he's definitely been the rock here for TESC. So he's done a great job, and yeah, I'm glad you highlighted that because at this point right now, that 2 kills, right, you're working on your second item at this point. You've got the Swifty boots too, so you have a lot of agency right now on this way. And keep in mind too, Zed is a sub for tonight.
Right. That was the big thing. We were talking about Zed being the sub in for Tilted Crashouts and doing a damn good job, you know. Another like really quick highlight on is Mellow Devils because this Rumble, yes, you've been having a little bit of a trouble up against, you know, Terps in a 1v1, but whenever, you know, you get out of the presence of the big pit man, the people champ, he's doing a lot of work. Like that TP in the bot lane with that beautiful horizontal equalizer, getting that double kill for himself before falling, I think really put him back in this game. And I mean, yeah, this is something else we got to be looking for going down the line in this matchup. It's like, look at the state of the game right now. 7-7, a drag a piece, a tower piece, 3 grubs a piece. Like it's so disgustingly even.
Yeah, 100% it is right now. This really is anybody's game. It's so nice to see TESC being able to get out there and like show what they can do here because
for sure.
A lot of the time from game 1, it just seemed like XSV just controlled so much of the pace of the game, right? They got those 6 void grubs, and with the team comp that they drafted, it just felt like it was so hard for TESC to be able to do anything here. And off the back of really, it feels like Terps on this set here. It seems like TESC is in a good position. Now, I still wonder how well their team comp is going to function when it comes to team fights. So that's the thing I'm looking out for. Like, they just don't really have consistent engage. And that's where I think they're really lacking here. But with flanks, like Terps, if he's able to get behind, if he finds those angles, or same deal with Spuds, I think lots of magic can happen. I'm just kind of worried about TESC forcing a fight themselves. I'm not sure if they can do it on their own accord.
Yeah, that is something that we're going to need to look to see if that happens next time as well.
Here we go.
Okay, back into it.
We are live, kind of. Oh.
We were live and we were not.
We were live. Now we're definitely not live. This does happen from time to time. It usually lasts about 10 seconds, and I mean, this has been in the game for as long as I can remember.
Man, we'll be right back, America. Don't worry.
We're almost there. There we go. All right, Avi just clearing out that ward. Most exciting part of this game at this point right now, 16 minutes in, is both teams do jockey for priority around this dragon, but you can see XSVG is just not in the best angle right now. They don't have PKP.
Okay, man. We were talking about how even it was. Now we're looking to see who's gonna blow this door open. As
no EQ.
Five of the dragon. Oh my goodness, he's done. He's gonna go with ult to try to trap everybody. He's looking for a big old ball delivered. But what's the follow-up here? Cross is there, free firing. Will show the ball, not able to land an ultimate. But here comes Mellow Devils, gonna spit fire, roast him up real nice. I love a good barbecue at this time of night. It's gonna do diligence. The rest of the Crashouts are running for the hills. Super low health bar. Zed, very, very low mobility on this way. Not able to get out of dodge. As, yeah, he's going to try and fire something back, but that's BKP with another one on the credit. And there's a great return, though. Frozen Spuds will actually get the credit off of that one. I thought it was going to be show them all. Got the credit off of it. But, man, I mean, discrepancy even in dying makes a good play.
Oh, for sure. And it seemed a little dicey initially at the beginning of that fight, but as soon as Mellow Devils grouped up, it was over. Like, pretty much simultaneously. That equalizer landing on top of 2 gets us 2 kills so quickly, and then off the back of that, you're going to be able to grab yourself a tier 2 mid. So that is a really nice play. And honestly, if I was XSVG, even contesting this dragon, I don't know if you have to right now. Like, you can get back on the map and pressure so much of this top side too. Like the good thing for them is they have options at this point right now, and the tempo wise it looks like they're ahead here. So as we do see once again, looks like both teams are just going to jockey around this dragon, so mid priority becomes so important here, Crow.
So important. Now, I mean, we saw them do this in game number 1 though as well, right? A huge fight in the dragon area, spiraling out towards mid tier 2, which TESC lost, and then lost their tier 2, and then they went back to drag, and then they lost again. Looking not to have history repeat itself as he's going in deep. Discrepancy gets the EQR on 2. We'll show them all who's still staying alive. Zed still also alive, but falls just at the right time for them to keep on fighting. Terps manages to get one down, trying to, but he falls as well. Looks like once again the fight near the dragon pit is going crazy, but unlike game number 1, it's going in favor of TESC. The Tilted Crashouts gonna get a delayed ace for their troubles. Do not make the same mistake. Do not funnel in the same tri-bush and actually come out on top.
Huh. That fight was weird. Ended up fighting in that choke there. It honestly, XSVG, the initial fight, it looks so good for them. Like, Discrepancy overextended a little bit for his Cataclysm, but they got the Ori Shockwave on top of a key member there, which was great. But, like, Terps, once again, just getting into that backline there. Being able to land that W, that Haymaker on all 5 members, get 2 kills in the process. I believe he got 2 there. Regardless, he set it up anyways, and then he's able to flash out. And I thought he was going to get away. He almost did, but PKP picked him up on the back end, but crucially he saves that fight.
Yep. Okay, that's a good return for Tilted Crashouts, but what can they do from here? You know, like how do they push out and, you know, use that momentum forward? Because that's what we really need to look at, because they have gotten, you know, some more items, more lethality on We'll Show Them All. I mean, those arrows, those piercing arrows are like absolutely ridiculous now, but it's just how do they push on forward? Because if you look at the map, a lot of the vision control, a lot of the tempo still looks to be the way of XSVG.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of TESCs, like a lot of their vision is actually set towards that bot side when they played around that dragon, so they haven't had the chance to actually set up any wards here top. So this is definitely a lapse right now in their vision. They have a few wards available for Frozen Spuds on the Poppy, but he just doesn't have the option to be able to get those wards anywhere impactful at this point right now, just from being on the fact that you're on that solo mission, and crucially that pink there. So XSVG's just done, once again, a really good job around these neutrals, and they've controlled it well. Now, one thing to highlight, they have conceded mid priority, so this does give a bit of an option for Real Show Them All, as we see Terps not afraid to fight.
He's not afraid of a fight, I'm telling you, man. The man could have a quarter health, does not even care. He's gonna go ahead and fight. But yeah, it looks like the fight around the Otacon area, just getting more vision there. I mean,
Otacon feels like such a bait right now.
Right?
I wouldn't even be looking at it if I was both of these teams. It does way too much damage. The reward's great, don't get me wrong, but way too much damage here, and I think both teams recognize that too. But it really just seems like at this point in the game, it's just going to be bouncing waves back and forth. If somebody gets caught, that's great, but there's no real neutral to play for.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, you know, that patient League of Legends, who trips first, who fires first, right? I mean, playing for map control, very, very important. This is something that a lot of teams at, like, you know, these levels tend to struggle with. Like, when you get this advantage, when it gets to this quote-unquote stalemate state, how do you force the issue? How do you create an advantage without just waiting or relying for a team to slip up?
That's right. We do see Chris here. I'm not sure if he was spotted by BKP, but crucially, Ori no shockwave.
Zed, oh my god.
Beautiful.
Zed gonna take a lot of damage, but just enough to survive. A little bit drowsy, a little bit sleepy, and a nice little bonk of the head. Chris on a killing spree now. Great job for him. And we wanted to see him be more active on this Lilia. But, you know, I mean, 4-3-4 is not a bad stat line to look at.
No, not at all here. And you haven't outpaced the Jarvan a ton at this point right now, but you're up 30 CS, so that's not half bad. And of course, you've got those 4 kills to boot, so that makes things that much easier when you have those 2 items. And that Lily is definitely online, and at this point, she's only getting stronger while Discrepancy's starting to lose that curve. Terps, so just getting spaced here.
Oh my god. Ugh, 2 items on there though. Massive, massive haymaker. Perfect timing on the ultimate button. Wrong way. Not able to get out. Terps actually fall. And this is, yeah, you don't need to be there. Frozen Spuds might just fall here. Going to the safety of his turret for a moment. Wait a minute.
Thank you too much.
For the cavalry to arrive, there is no tower now. The arrows charged up, and oh my god, Chris actually gets some DOT burn down on the cross, falling on the backside. But the cavalry has arrived. The tilted Crashouts are all here and ready to play and ready to fight. And it looks like they're gonna get the litany of the kills here. A triple credit going over to Chris. That was ridiculous.
The initial play was really well done. They're being able to get that pick on Terps. I like to see that, but it just seemed like the overextension was just, it was just too much. I don't know how many turret shots we tanked. It's probably 4 or 5.
4!
Yeah, like that's a lot of turret shots. And of course that ramps up too, so that's a lot of damage that you lost, and it actually solo burned Mellow Devil's Zhonya's in that process too, so I mean, I like the idea, but I think we just need to play for the turret there. Just take that win. You already got the kill on Terps. Just get out, take your reset, and get back on the map. Just seems like a little bit of overzealousness here. And oh, huge shockwave! Wow,
oh god.
Wow, XBKP. Look at that ward. That's the best ward in the game. Oh,
In the game, man.
too little, too late.
Oh,
Frozen Spuds recognizes it's warded now, but I don't think you can test this dragon now. I'm not so sure. It's hard.
I'm gonna be honest. We didn't really talk a lot about XBKP, but that brother does some damage.
Yeah, he does. 6 and 2 too. Like quietly 6 and 2.
Yeah, absolutely nasty. And I mean, that's another one of those threats that, you know, they have to keep tabs of. Is now this Ocean Drake, and number 2 falls so fast. They do so much damage at this point in the game. Oh my god.
Non-contestable. Obvi fishing here.
Yeah, I'm looking for something. But yeah, he has enough distance. Nice.
Oh, the
Flash E, I believe. Yeah, and Discrepancy going to set up something here. Zed save alive, but the Merc will actually kill him. Oh no! Betrayed by the jungle. The ultimate from We'll Show Them All goes very, very wide. They're gonna get the dragon. They're gonna get 1, and they're gonna get out. Man, XSVG. We're looking for more for sure, but they're happy with what they got.
Yeah, that's a robbery. Mission accomplished. Like, good for them.
The damn Merc Wolves.
They're able to get away with that, no problem. Get themselves a kill on Zed there. Burn a flash or 2 as well. That's both Terps and Zed's flash down, so that's good. That's really off the back of XBKP. As we highlighted before, finding that kill on We'll Show Them All, and that Varus was quintessential to be able to find that play, and they're also in the process denying that soul point. So, like to see that though. We'll Show Them All. Not willing to give up without a fight there. We're going to get that tier 1 mid, while the tier 1 bot goes down for the side of XSVG.
Nice turret trading going on around the map. And once again, it just feels so even. Like, I feel like either team can really delete somebody off the map. Now, like one Hui combo, you get deleted. One EQ auto, you're deleted. I mean, Lilia doesn't really do burst damage, but damage over time is very, very disgusting. So it looks like they're setting a trap here. Ooh. There's a lot of pings around this Baron. He's fighting for vision right now. I don't think they're going to go for a fight here, but it's good just for a lot of information.
No, and this is, I think, where XSVG's game really comes to light here. It's really their vision control around these neutrals. You can see that pink on that Baron pit. It's constantly causing so much stress here for the side of TESC. Are they on it? Are they not? What are we doing? Should we face check? What do we need to do? And right now in this state too, it's actually that much worse because Frozen Spuds actually just burnt his last ward there. So there's no wards available other than the blues, which can buy you some time. But XSVG has a stranglehold right now on TESC for sure.
Shout out to Tilted Crashouts, because I mean having multiple blues is actually really good.
Yeah,
they don't get enough recognition.
100%. As the game progresses, it's much better to get those blues because sometimes it's just so hard to face check. Like if you don't have mid prow, you need to know what's happening. You burn your blue, and then you have all the information you need. And for about 10 to 15 seconds, you can breathe that sigh of relief before inevitably you start to worry once again. So having that secondary one gives you that much more time.
Correct. And now once again, just clearing waves and buying time until next objective. 2 minutes till the next dragon. I mean, Baron is up, Otacon is up, but neither team want to try to go for those top side objectives. It's just another case of who gets caught out first, and looking by the amount of warding and amount of vision that XSVG has on TESC's jungle, I think they're the ones laying the trap.
I mean, I'm just looking at this game state right now, and it's so indicative of the wards. The wards will tell you everything about how this game is actually progressing right now. And XSVG, again, just to highlight it towards that top side, you can see all the vision that they need on these neutrals. And those are the only neutrals that are up to play for right now. We do see them cross-mapping here, so they can swing their tempo into this bot side here, prepping for this dragon in 1:25. And this to me makes a lot of sense because playing for that Atacon or that Baron right now seems to be too much of a risk here for both teams.
Yeah, neither team wants to risk it. That is very evident at this point. But just fighting over every single jungle camp. And it's so scary because of the burst potential that XSVG have. That, like, I mean, it's showing Tilted Crashouts aren't even trying, or aren't hard forcing these contests because they can just walk in and, take some chickens, take the blue buff, take the sentinel, take the crows, whatever. Because of the quick go trigger that exists on Gluttony's team.
Nothing amounting to much right now. This is the lull state in the game here. We can see very shallow vision being placed here by TESC, and crucially that Poppy, these are the little things that matter a lot. So we're going to see this Poppy resetting. Supports control so much of the tempo of the game with the wards that they have, so if XSVG recognizes that gives them a clear timer to walk in and start prepping up this dragon. That's how important this vision game becomes around this 29-30 minute mark, and even well before, but it's very much highlighted here because seconds matter so much.
Yeah, so much. Dragon in 4 now. Equal amount of vision across the board. Now there's a recall from XBKP. He does have TP. And it's just TESC not wanting to start it immediately. There's the TP called. It might be a pinch on both sides because look where Mellow Devils is behind everybody in that bot lane.
They need to be careful here.
Now the TP has been channeled from Terps as well, who's going to match him in there. Dragon is swinging attention both ways. Yeah, that meter's going down. He's going to reset here. Now the battle lines have reset. But how do the Tilted Crashouts get through this? How does Gluttony get through this?
In this front to back, you've got to feel that it favors Gluttony right now. You've got to feel like it, but that consistent poke here from We'll Show Them All is going to be the deciding factor in this.
Mellow Devil's still on the backside. He's still poking at the back, and yeah, look at that. Gluttony is pushing off of it as Mellow's going to take down Spuds, and yeah, Discrepancy's going to get the Ocean Drake, and Terps is not able to do too much damage. Can't take anyone down from the Gluttony squad, and they do so much damage. They're going to give them a taste of their own medicine. You said you want to ace us at 3rd, Drake? Don't worry, we're going to ace you at 5th. Or We'll Show Them All says, nah, you're not getting me this time.
Okay. Well, I mean, XSVG is going to get that dragon on top of a Baron here, and Mellow Devil's just... I like that play a lot too there. You're going to trade your life for this Baron here, but you're also going to slow the pace down from the enemy team, pick up a couple kills on the back end there. And I mean, in these front to back style fights, like that's where XSVG is going to accelerate things. And not only do they get the Baron, they're also going to get the Atacon.
Yeah, Otacon, he saw everything. It just really jumped him. Some multiple buffs for them, and now this also gives them, you know, that power recall, but also that GA. So like they can just kind of do whatever they want right now.
This feels bad, no?
Oh, it feels very bad, man. It feels very bad. Look at the scoreline. I mean, once again, it's another 5K goal lead that XSVG are going to hold on to very, very hard. And like they just have the items, they have the power spike. Like they are, like I said, they have the go button that TESC does not.
That fight costing TESC so much in this game right now. And if it wasn't evident before, after those buffs on all of those champions, once you recognize that's there, you definitely see the discrepancy that you're at. No pun intended here. So we'll see what XSVG is able to do with this priority here, and they've got a lot of it.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and knock on this door. Wonderful siege power with the Ori, Rumble, and the Jinx. All but assured, knocked down. I love that. So Demacia standard, put the flag in, pop that veil, where we'll show them all who has not been able to, you know, utilize his poke Varus at this point in the game. Is so difficult for him to actually make a play. As you see Terps looking for something, looking for an answer to try and get on to this backline, and it's just not going to happen as the inhibitor will fall. And XSVG are just having their way with TESC, Tilted Crashouts. This is their last chance to really try to make anything happen here. Equalizer played across 4 members of the team, and Chris is burning immediately. Oh my goodness, Intercross steps up 2, fires on 3. Super Mega Death Rocket goes in, but does not get a kill. Like I said, Turks, he's trying to make something happen, but they're just gonna withdraw and recall because of the Otacon buff. It's a massacre.
Drowsy's coming through here. Frozen Spuds looking for BKP in the backline. They're gonna get that kill there. And okay, 2 inhibs down. 2 inhibs down. Not ideal, but you save your Nexus turrets. That's nice. So we're gonna be able to keep that. The TP is coming down from Mellow Devils. He's gonna look to get back on the map here, but he's a little bit ahead of tempo of the rest of his team here. He does need to be a little careful with this, but I like the idea here. He's gonna continue to just apply as much pressure as he can here, and XSVG, crucially, they still do have that Baron, so they're able to push out here, and 2 inhibs is great, but 3 inhibs is that much more, and at that point, you've got to feel like the game is yours.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, yeah, Mellow Devils jumped out a little bit faster than the rest of the team, but he's fine, you know. 3 items plus the boots. He's feeling all right.
As long as he doesn't die, he's okay to do that all day long.
Yeah, it's just like, because like I said, Tilted Crashouts don't have this go button to, you know, force a real issue onto Gluttony at this point in the game, right? Like, all of their damage is very much damage over time, or like chunk poke, you know. It's not a lot of burst, and that makes things significantly more difficult at this stage when your opponents have, you know, the item advantage over you as well as the power advantage over you.
Yeah, you really just, all you have to do is ask yourself, if you're on the side of TESC, who can engage?
Yeah.
And you don't have a real answer. Terps, unfortunately, getting picked off here, most certainly. Beautiful ult, though. Well played.
I'm gonna get out of here. Zanya's on X BKP, but he's just the bait. You're all getting destroyed off the back of it because Intercross is here. 4 items on this Jinx. Zed trying to make it happen with a 3 combo, but not enough to kill. He just does not do enough damage here. Zanya's is popped by Mellow Devils. His tower is providing a little bit of help. The run away from Spuds, no, the run away from Zed is off the back line of it. There's just no one else there to help out. All these low health bars on XSVG, but no one there to finish them off from the Crashouts.
That's right. Gluttony, at the end of the day, not able to get that 3rd inhibitor. We're going to see Crashouts able to defend that. That is very important, but of course the eyes are now focused on this dragon here. Of course, we see the members of XSVG just moving out here, and if you're on the side of Crashouts, like, you can't contest. So this isn't the end of the world. I don't think this is the end of the world at all. This is not Elder Dragon by any means, so giving up the soul, not ideal, but nevertheless, this does not end your game at all.
Are they going to try and go for it? They're TPing in. I see committal spells from Tilted Crashouts right now. They're not even near it. Oh my goodness.
They're on such a short timer right now, Crow.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
they just missed it now. Now look at their base too. At this point, XSVG can just slow chase here. It feels so bad right now.
Yep, it's a slow choke out at this point. The supers are on the base. There's a very, very low Nexus Tower on one of them. They burned 2 TPs for that play, and the timing was just not there for Tilted Crashouts. This looks to be another victory march for XSVG. Sure, they don't have all the GAs, but they got an Ocean Soul and a whole lot of firepower beneath the both of them. There's the ult, and immediately, okay, Showstopper to get out, but it's just not enough. Keeper's Verdict knocks one away. Spuds is just not able to survive through this. Is a great equalizer on the backside. Mellow Devil chases down the Yordle, puts him in the blender, but woo, that was a lot of damage. Won't show them all, but he can't show them enough to finish them off. They're all still surviving. Terps manages to get the support. Obby's dead, cool, but that's not going to dissuade XSVG from pushing forward. It's a literal 2v4. And I don't think they can hold the line.
What can the carries do? Wheel Show Them All has plenty of poke. That EQ from Discrepancy, not able to gap close enough, but these turrets are going down fast.
So fast, and yeah, I mean, you have hit across who literally just evaporates structures at this point on this Jinx, and XBKP is gonna go ahead and finish off, pad the stats a little bit more, make that KD look pretty. That's gonna be XSVG getting the nice 2-0.
Good for them. That seemed like a very decisive series, and you and I were both wondering how this was going to go. Of course, last week prior, both of these teams ended up 2-0ing their opponents, so we're like, well, where is the real power differential going to start to be established here? And a 2-0 on top of a 2-0 looks really good for you right now. And Gluttony, I mean, you got to hand it to them. It seemed like even when they were losing something, they were still gaining something on the map. So good for them to be able to find all those angles, make those plays, and yeah, they definitely deserve this win.
I mean, yeah, like it's just so interesting, like how close it looked until it literally wasn't. And I don't know.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if you can chalk that up to like maybe Gluttony are just not that great at, just pushing their momentum and pushing their lead, playing a little bit too cautious, because there is such a thing as being a little bit too cautious when you are ahead. But when they're like, oh wait, bro, we could just fight them and they can't do anything about it. When they realize that, they're an entirely different animal. And their team fighting looked really, really well polished when they got to those team fighting stages, which was something we had both talked about. And yeah, I mean, nice try for the Tilted Crashouts, but it just was too little too late.
Yeah, honestly, to me, like it just seemed like the Crashouts, I mean, not to simplify it by any means, there's lots of things you can improve on in the game, but the drafts just weren't there. I don't think the drafts were there for game 1 and game 2, and of course, to me, that seems like an easy fix. I mean, how you approach things is totally up to you as a team, but as long as you can identify your win cons, like what lanes you want to play to, then if you can draft around that accordingly, like that'll be great. But you just seen the difference. Like Gluttony drafted once in game 1 and game 2, just really clean team comps, man. Like it's so difficult to deal with both of those comps. So how you manage that, it's tough, especially if, honestly, even if you're at an even game state, it's tough, let alone when the enemy team's ahead.
And I mean, yeah, and we do know, like Tilted Crashouts, they were working with the sub tonight, Zed, who played his heart out. I'm not gonna lie, two games on Hue. Yeah. It was a hard task, like trying to be such a consistent damage dealer for the team stepping in for this week. It is still early on in the season, though. It's not down and out yet. Don't be too hard on them. There's plenty of time for a comeback story, plenty of time to do that, but that will be for next time. But before we go, of course, we always want to go give a shout out to Zen Market, your one-stop solution for buying products directly from Japan. Check the panel below or click the link in the chat. Try them out now. If you sign up, remember promo code Aegis, all caps, all caps when you spell the man's name, RP MF Doom. 1,000 yen off your first international shipping fee. That is Zen Market. Thank you so much for sponsoring this here, Aegis. We love you very much. But yeah, Turk, man, how are you feeling on the day?
That was good. Like, it was a good series, and it was good league because there was a lot of cohesion when it came to like the macro decisions there, and that much I like to see. So I hope everybody else enjoyed that. I know I had fun casting, so it's a pleasure to be able to cast once again with you there, Crow, and I know that we got a good season ahead of us, and the playoffs is where things are really going to start to get interesting, but it'll be fun because it will be there before you know it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Week 2 is done. Hold on to your butts, though, because it's about to get crazier from here on out. But that's going to be it for us here and everyone else behind the desk. You have a very wonderful night. We'll see you next time.
See you soon.
Zen Market.
Zen Market.
Zen Market.
Zen Market.
Zen Market.
Zen Market. ありがとう
ございます。
ありがとう。
arigatou gozaimasu